What if I told you that people are easier to read than the books they pretend to finish? They think they're mysterious, unreadable, layered. But the truth? They leak information constantly. Every blink, every pause, every fake smile is a BAM confession wrapped in skin. The human body is a traitor to its own mind. And science? It knows how to catch it lying. You've probably heard people say, "You can't read me." But that's the funniest part. Those are usually the easiest ones to read. Because the moment someone claims to be unreadable, they've already revealed their biggest insecurity. The fear of being seen. See, the science of reading people isn't about staring at their eyes like a weirdo or counting how many times they touch their face. It's about decoding patterns. Patterns that the human brain doesn't even realize it's repeating. When someone hides something, their body tries to bury it, but the truth always leaks through the cracks. Neuroscientists call it microexpressions. Tiny flashes of emotion that burst out before your brain can censor them. A twitch, a nostril flare, a lip curl, all happening in under half a second. You can't fake them. You can't control them. And once you learn to notice them, you'll see through people like glass. But here's the darker part. Once you start seeing, you'll wish you hadn't. Because you'll realize how many smiles are forced, how many compliments are loaded, and how many people talk to you just to study your reaction. Most people don't communicate, they perform. And the better you get at reading them, the more you'll see the script behind their words. Let's start with the simplest tell: silence. People think silence is awkward. They rush to fill it, spill their secrets, justify their lies. But the ones who can stay silent? They're very dangerous. Because silence isn't empty, it's full of control. In conversations, the person who talks less holds more power. They're not reacting, they're observing, measuring, calculating. Psychology calls it the observer's advantage. And those who master it control the entire social game. Then there's eye behavior. Forget that nonsense about if someone looks up, they're lying. That's pop psychology garbage. Real science says it's about pupil dilation. When someone's interested, their pupils expand. When they're anxious or defensive, they shrink. You can literally watch someone's emotions shift in real time, right through their eyes. Romantic, isn't it? Except it's not love, it's biology. We're all just animals trying to hide the truth from each other, and failing miserably. Now let's talk about speech. Not what people say, but how they say it. A person's words are the least trustworthy part of them. But tone, rhythm, hesitation, that's where the truth hides. Liars tend to over-explain. They add unnecessary details to sound believable. Honest people, on the other hand, don't bother to convince you. They just tell you and move on. So if someone keeps defending their story long after you stopped asking, congratulations, you've found your liar. But don't get too excited. Because once you can spot deception, you'll start seeing it everywhere. And that's when the world stops feeling human and starts feeling like a laboratory. People reveal themselves in strange ways. The way they glance at their phone mid-conversation. The way they inhale before answering a question. The way their smile disappears a fraction too fast when you stop looking. It's not paranoia if it's pattern recognition. There's also something called baseline behavior. That's the version of someone when they're comfortable. If you want to read people accurately, study them when they're calm. That's your reference point. Then, when something changes, tone, posture, pace, you know something's off. The trick isn't spotting the lie. It's spotting the deviation. Here's a dark truth. Most people don't want to be understood. They want to be believed. And they'll manipulate tone, posture, and emotion to earn your trust, even subconsciously. Understanding that is what separates readers from the ones being read. But the most chilling skill? Reading emotional distance. When someone's energy doesn't match their words, that's where truth hides. If they say they're fine, but their voice drops half a tone lower, they're not fine. If they smile, but their eyes don't narrow slightly, it's a fake smile. Humans are terrible actors, yet we pretend to be Oscar-worthy. And here's the sarcastic twist. You don't need a psychology degree to read people. You just need to care enough to notice and cold enough to stay detached. Because empathy lets you understand people, but detachment keeps you from absorbing their chaos. The science of reading people is not a game of power, it's a game of awareness. You start to see patterns in everything. Why some people dominate conversations. Why others shrink when challenged. Why certain words trigger instant defensiveness. You realize personality isn't random, it's a survival strategy. Some use charm as armor. Some use humor as a disguise. Some use anger as a smokescreen for fear. And once you see those defense mechanisms, the mystery of human behavior starts to fade, replaced by something colder, understanding. But beware, knowledge changes you. When you start reading people, you lose the comfort of ignorance. You stop taking things personally. You stop believing in coincidences. You start noticing the moment someone's words split from their intent, and it's not fun anymore. It's unsettling. Because once you know the dark science of reading people, you can't turn it off. You'll see manipulation wrapped in charm. You'll hear fear behind confidence. You'll feel dishonesty vibrating in someone's tone before they even finish their sentence. And then you'll realize, maybe it's not people who are complex. Maybe it's just that truth is too uncomfortable to look at directly. Humans are predictable in their unpredictability. They crave to be seen, but fear exposure. They lie to protect themselves, pretend to be confident, and hide their weakness behind words. And the more you study them, the more you understand. Every gesture, every silence, every smile is a, quote, survival tactic. So next time someone says, "You can't read me," just smile. Because you already did. They just haven't realized it yet. And that is the dark science of reading people.